Hi, this is Howard Snader. Today I just wanted to talk to you about a question that's asked frequently, and specifically it came in another email today and it's prompting me saying, hey, let's make a video. So the question is, what should I do if a detective left me his number to call him? Detectives can be reaching out to you for several reasons. One is you may be a potential witness or you're identified as a witness and they want to say hi. In many of the cases that I deal with, of course, you're the target or the suspect of an investigation. So what happens if you get that card? The first thing you should do is really consider your options of calling them back right away or calling an attorney first. If you elect to call the detective, understand that they will be recording the call. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Never, ever, ever lie to a police officer, period. The problem that you have is they don't always ask the right questions. And when they go back later and you want to clarify something or add something to the story, they look at it as you're lying or you were misleading them, as opposed to you're just human and you answered the question that was asked. The other problem is, even if you answer the question honestly, if you're asked that question 3 months later when you're in the middle of a court proceeding, are you going to answer the same question with the same words, the same intonation, just the same all the way around? And the odds are no. And if you do answer it yes, now you come across as practiced, rehearsed, because you made the story up. If you answer the question wrong, it's because you're lying. Or you're human and you just don't answer things 3 months apart, regardless of the question being identical. So when you do talk to the detective, you got to be careful, and I would caution you. The only thing you ask the detective, you don't provide them much of anything. If it's on your driver's license, you give them your name, you confirm your identification, your address, your date of birth, all the things that you can confirm without giving anything else away. And as soon as they start asking questions of substance, that's when you need to take a step back and do you want to go down that rabbit hole without a lawyer? There's no Miranda warning, you're not in custody, you can hang up at any time. So you do want to call them back or have your attorney call them back. What is important is verify the detective is handling the case, get the case report number so that when you do contact an attorney, the attorney will have a starting point on where to go in your case. Be real careful. I frequently remind people that when you're contacted by any law enforcement officer, even answering the innocent questions, hey, where do you work? Were you with that person last Friday? In many cases I have, and one of the scariest ones are the sex offense allegations where they're talking to grandpa. Hey, was your granddaughter over for swimming last week? Yes. Did you ever take her to the bathroom? Yes. Did you ever dry her off from the pool? Yes. Did you help her get changed? Yes. None of these are criminal answers. Well, when you changed her, did you do why? Did I do what? No, of course I would never do that. But you're confirming all the other parts of the kid's story. And if the kid's 4, 5, 6 years old, you're giving them the ability to say she's truthful about everything else, so why would she be lying about the one bad thing? So if you don't answer that question, and the answer is, I don't want to talk to you without my lawyer, the officer has no options. He's going to have to stop asking you questions. He can threaten you, hey, if you don't answer these questions, you understand I may have to arrest you. And in a lot of ways, he's already making that threat because he's already made up his mind. He's going to arrest you whether you talk or not. You never talk yourself out of being arrested. You can talk yourself into being arrested, but you can't talk yourself out of it. If the cops are making the threat and they're being honest about it, they're going to arrest you regardless of what you say. If they're being honest about it, they're still investigating the case and they haven't decided what they're going to do. You making a statement is going to walk you into that jail cell. It very rarely will clear you. So better to say, hey, look, I don't want to answer any questions. Let me call my lawyer and we'll be back in touch. When that person contacts me, I'm going to contact the detective and I'm going to say, hey, what is going on? What do you need? What type of investigation? What are the allegations? What evidence can we develop to show that these claims are not truthful? And beat up the story from the beginning without my client having to make a statement. So, what should you do if a detective left you the number? One is, somebody's got to call him back. Hopefully it's the lawyer, but if you elect to make the phone call, again, provide them the information that's basic biographical information. Once they start digging into any kind of substance, back away from that. Politely say, on the advice of my attorney, we'll be in touch, but I want to touch base with him and have him get a hold of you. And the attorney will take over from there. If you do not return that phone call, you're leaving the detective very few options. Option number one is to knock on your door repeatedly until you answer the door. Option number two is come back with a warrant, and at that point you're either going to go with them or they're going to be allowed to search. So if you ignore them, they do have some recourse. You do want to get back to them at the very least just to say hi and to tell them, hey, look, what's this regarding? Get the report number and just say, look, I'm going to be going to talk to my lawyer and we'll get back to you in a day or two. That normally will work for most detectives. Just don't blow them off. If you are being contacted by a detective, a law enforcement officer of any sort, they are leaving a business card. And it doesn't have to be law enforcement per se. This could be a zoning officer that shows up at your house. Anybody that's in government that leaves a business card, always give them a call back. They're leaving the card for a reason. You don't have to communicate any substantive information, but call them back because their alternatives are going to involve the court, and you don't want it to go that way unless that's the last resort. If you have any questions, please give me a call. My phone number is 602-899-2321. I'll be happy to help you out. Thank you.